Just for you, Blair.
Okay, I will call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Adoption of agenda. Any errors in that or anything to add? Are we good to go? Need a motion? Mike? All in favor? Opposed? You gotta have a vote.
I apologize. I'm in
You're
favor.
opposed?
I'm in favor.
Regular meeting minutes from December 10th. Any errors and omissions? Craig?
Nope, all looked good when I read it over.
Thanks, Greg.
Therefore, I make the motion to accept the minutes as presented.
All in favor? Carried.
Thanks, Craig.
Hey, no problem, Councillor Soshberger.
Action items. Bylaw 1660. ATV operational borrowing bylaw. First reading. Marion?
So we maintain a revolving line of credit with ATB, and the principal sum of that is $450,000. We currently have no funds drawn on that and have not had for quite some time, but we do like to keep it in place in case we have a short-term cash flow issue or have a large project that we haven't got grant funding in for or whatever. Borrowing requires that there be a bylaw passed. Because this borrowing is less than 3 years, we do not require the bylaw to be advertised. But we do renew this annually by bylaw. So there's actually two in front of you. The first is for the line of credit. The other is for our AMSC procurement cards. And so those act as our credit cards, BMO. MasterCards is what they are, and the limit on that is $50,000, so that's the second bylaw before you tonight. Again, those are issued by way of policy, corporate credit card policy, and there is limits established in that policy, and I determine how those are distributed, but to a maximum of $50,000.
And we need first reading tonight? And then
Yes, so
we'll come
we'd
back.
be looking for first reading tonight, second and third reading at the following meeting.
Okay, I move to make first reading.
Of the ATB,
ATB.
operational borrowing.
Operational borrowing. Thank you.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Schultz to give bylaw number 1660, the ATB operational borrowing bylaw, first reading.
All in favor? Carried. Would somebody like to move the second part?
I'll move.
1661.
Bylaw 1661.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to give bylaw number 1661, the AMSC operational borrowing bylaw, first reading.
All in favor? Carried. Correspondence. The Honorable Lori Sigurdsson, Minister of Senior and Housing. It's the 2019 Minister Senior Service Awards. We'll take this for information. If you guys have anybody you're thinking of for this,
Just a question, in the past, have we put out any
I'm not
applicants
aware
for
of it,
this?
but no.
I think it goes out to, does this get distributed to like the senior center? They would get their
Yes.
own copy.
Yes.
Like Ally and them would get this.
I don't
would
know
think
if
so, but
Valley
I
would
don't
at
know.
his housing, but like the seniors association, they would try and distribute it as
Right.
broadly as
Oh, okay.
possible.
Okay, cool.
Doug's of age now that
Yeah.
he'll qualify.
Hmm?
You qualify.
I'm not a senior.
Not?
No, I'm not. I'm a year short.
Redirect there, boys.
Next year we got him.
Quit tossing the ball.
Okay, we'll take this for information. Number 4, correspondence, Community Foundation of Lethbridge and Southwestern Alberta Friends of the Foundation Dinner. Again, this is, we can just take this for information. If anybody, is anybody interested in this?
I'm not.
No.
Take it for information. Okay. Correspondence, Sparta House, It's the Sparta 5K Stomp. So I suggest we enter a team, pointing at Lisa over there, and our most physically fit, and Craig right next to her.
I had an idea about this.
I think we should totally do it. I
We
think
should
it's a
do
great
something.
idea.
And then the cadets have those little walking things, and it's called Stomp.
Yeah.
And we could walk the 5K
In those?
In those,
Oh,
organized
boy.
as a team.
Oh,
Wow, that sounds like a
You're
lot of
serious.
work. But I
5K.
think a team
Stomp out the stigma. We would be stomping every step for 5K.
sounds like a lot of work.
That sounds like I'd rather walk it.
Can we dance instead? So
Are you guys
would you
interested in putting
consider
on a team?
Yeah.
Should
putting
we,
together a
Yep.
team?
should we pursue this and put a team
Would you do
together? And
sure. If
I
you
think it'd be
guys,
fun,
we should.
hey?
if everybody does it.
we don't need a motion, we just need to indicate that we're gonna do it. So
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll leave it up to Corinne to enter us, and
Okay.
then we'll see who shows up.
Okay. You'll all be showing up.
Oh, see? That's why I put you in charge.
Good job.
Okay, we'll take that for information. And Corinne, if you would go ahead and tell them we'll participate.
Do you want, how many do you want to
7.
participate, and just at which level?
Well,
'Cause it's general, early bird, where you get a t-shirt, and then there's the one that includes the hoodie and the sweats and stuff too.
I don't think we need the hoodie and sweats, but could we go for the one with the t-shirt so we're all
We have a T-shirt.
wearing the same shirt?
And how many of you are willing
7?
to do it?
7.
All 7 of you?
And what about Craig, May
Geez, that's
11th?
till like May 11th. I have no idea.
It's a Saturday.
Well, if your schedule permits.
My schedule permits. I might think, well,
Yeah,
walking
you might.
5K.
Sure.
Community
All
participation.
7, please.
You're in.
That'd be so much fun.
Voluntold.
I get voluntold at home. I need voluntold here.
Number 6, correspondence, Claresholm District Fair Days Bench Show, application for donation.
it's back at the arena this year, I guess.
Is it?
Looks like it. I kinda liked it at the other venue, but it was smaller. They are looking for a sum total of,
It's like $9.90.
990.
$9.90 and some sand.
Yeah, that's right.
If I read that
I'm
right.
just making
you're right.
sure I'm not missing something here. No,
It's been that for
990.
3
The
or
rest
4
is-
years.
They
Mhm.
seem to have the rest covered, so.
Yeah.
What have we done in previous years?
The $9.90.
That's what we did last year.
They got a
Yeah.
receipt on the next one there that says.
What do you guys feel about
Yes.
pretty good community event?
Yeah.
Mm, indeed.
And the sand. Don't forget the sand too.
And the sand.
Yeah, we need to give them a pile of sand.
I think.
We can handle that.
I think we can.
Yeah, just the donation
As
the
requested.
cash donation, and then we'll just
We
get the
just get them
sound.
some
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody willing to make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Counselor Moore,
Oh,
Got my hand up first, Craig.
Attaboy.
Sorry.
boy.
question?
Moved by Councillor Moore to donate $990 towards the Claresholm District Fair Days Bench Show as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Number 7, request for decision, policy GA 01-19, TCA capitalization and amortization. Alright,
Okay, so the town of Claresholm is subject to the public sector accounting board standards, and part of that is that it dictates that we need to account for our tangible capital assets and that they must be capitalized, so in other words, depreciated. As part of our 2017 audit, one of the recommendations that came in the management letter was that the town review the amortization policy, as there was asset categories that the way the formula was set up, they were depreciating very quickly in the early part of their life. And so they recommended that we review the policy to ensure that the rates being used were appropriate. So the issue is largely due to the software system we were using, and so Blair's been working on that administratively to correct that situation. And then we've drafted this new TCA policy. So it's very similar to the previous policy, almost mirrors it, other than in a couple of areas where that declining balance was substantially overstated in the early years of the assets. So the changes that are made are, we provided specific guidelines on the rate of amortization to be used for the declining balance amortization. Adjust the half-year rule to only apply in the year of acquisition and not at the year of disposal. And then we remove some excess information such as limits that would be used for cities, villages, and rural municipality for asset type classifications that we don't have within our municipality. Like, for instance, a light rail system is one, for example. So when these were put in, when these regulations came into play, it was quite a significant undertaking for municipalities. So a lot of these policies were just adopted by way of recommendation from government agencies and AUMA. And so now we're just kind of cleaning that up. Also, there was a prior policy, GA 0105, which is also being rescinded in this recommendation because it duplicated and contradicts the policy GA 1009. So there's two policies being rescinded in this new one. We're also recommending that this be backdated to be effective December 31st, 2018 to allow us to properly adjust our amortization rates for the upcoming audit for 2018.
Any questions? Somebody willing to make a motion? Councillor Cutler. Question.
Moved by Councillor Cutler to adopt policy number GA 0119 regarding TCA capitalization and amortization as presented, effective December 31st, 2018.
All in favor? Carried. Number 8, information brief. Diabetes clothing bin. Marion.
So the Child Care Society is interested in hosting a Diabetes Canada clothing bin here on site. It helps with their application for their accreditation because it's a community outreach program, and so those clothing bins are used, as you all know, for reuse of those materials that would otherwise probably go into a landfill or whatever. It's for secondhand clothing. We have looked at a location here in the parking lot out back that we feel would be an appropriate location. One of the concerns we've discussed is that the potential of garbage being dumped around or, other items being dropped off, but when we've checked around, the Canadian Diabetes Association is very good at taking care of their bins and maintaining that. And so if there was a problem, they would be quick to deal with it, and they're also open to other locations if that's not appropriate. But I think administratively that we would like to see the support of that, both for the Child Care Society and the Canadian Diabetes Association, at least on a trial basis. If we determine there's a more appropriate location, then that can be dealt with in the future.
There's one of these
And
already.
because we own the property, that's why it's coming to council. Sorry, I should have stipulated that it would require council approval to be able to place it on our property.
And they want 3 of them. Sorry.
No, that's
So it's just 3
proposed
options.
sites. That's options.
Oh, okay, so they're not looking for 3 beds.
Those are
Oh,
just 3
they're
sites.
just saying those are the 3
Those are
options.
possible, okay.
And did you say we already have one?
Well, there's one down at the IGA parking lot,
There's
right?
still
Is
one
that,
there?
yeah.
Is that,
Is there-
they're red.
They-
Not the
I think
same
that's
co-
Cancer Society or something, but
No, I think it's the same.
is
I
it
thought
the
it
same?
was
It's the
the
same.
same
This
diabetes?
this is blue here. This looks
Yeah,
quite a bit
okay,
different.
I was wondering
Maybe
if
they
there
just
was
changed
already-
their
Well-
look,
Maybe.
Okay,
but the other's 2 down there.
yeah,
Oh, is there?
yeah,
Oh.
right in the middle of their parking lot when you park in there.
But it must be necessary,
Well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're
To
willing
have
to put
2.
it in, so it's obviously,
right?
they
Okay.
feel it's all right.
And if they're willing to put in a 3rd one, I think lots of people
Yeah,
would rather. Makes their mind feel better that
makes
they're doing
sense.
something maybe.
Guess
You-
it's question of location.
And
Who's
this is
gonna
just
see
for
it?
information, we don't
Well-
need to make a motion on this?
I would like a motion to
Would
approve
like a
it being
motion on this?
property.
Well, a lot of families and
Probably
stuff
lots
go
of
through their
families,
jobs.
yeah.
Somebody be willing to make that motion?
I make a motion to approve to allow us to put a Diabetes Canada donation bin on our property here for the Child Care Society. That sound about right?
You nailed her.
What's this information?
We'll see what comes back.
It'll sound a lot better than what I just said. Have another coffee, please. Take my seat, you gotta fill my cup.
That's right.
Brad said it was time for a change.
And just for the.
Is that where you moved over there?
Hey, Brad took his chair.
Brad took my chair.
See, if you got here earlier, you could do that someday.
Dude, I just finished. That's how it's gonna be. Don't expect me early.
Take care of your.
Okay, can we, question please?
Moved by Councillor Zimmer to allow a Diabetes Canada clothing donation bin on town property located in the parking area of 221 45 Avenue West to be hosted by the Claresholm Child Care Society.
Oh, done, Craig.
Thank you.
All in favor? Carried. Number 9, information brief, Alberta Transportation bypass update. Well, this is from our conversation with Alberta Transportation at the
EMA.
AMA.
That's cool.
Marion, you wanna?
Sure. So, we had a representative from Alberta Transportation that was in the meeting, the engineer that was in the meeting with us in Red Deer, reached out and, we met on, I believe it was early December, anyway. And it was just to follow up with our discussion that we'd had regarding access to the industrial park off of the proposed
Bypass.
bypass road, but looking at temporary access now off of 520.
Right.
And whether or not that could be accommodated. So it was reiterated to us that there would not be any additional access off of the bypass road and that they would also not allow any further access off of the 520. And it all has to do with their setback requirements from those major corridors
Yeah.
and their transportation corridors. We also talked about the viability of an exit ramp going south off of the proposed bypass that would just be similar to High River when you're going south, and there's just after the overpass there's that one exit
Yeah.
that goes into the community there. And again, we were told that that is not something that they allow in their planning at this point. We talked about the time frame, and he said it appeared that it would be reasonable that this would be a 20 plus years out.
Mhm.
And so we talked about the mass of land that is currently there, that is basically left as farmland, and what if someone was looking at developing that land, what would happen? He said that the land could be used for a temporary use, so something that could be removed easily, no permanent structure, so, you know, there might be some sea cans or something like that on there that would be, acceptable for temporary use during that time frame. The other question he had for us is that the current alignment has been endorsed by Alberta Transportation, but it was never designated and approved by the town because the town never did give their endorsement. Previous councils looked at that and wanted to have additional exit ramps off of the south or north end to make sure that there was the ability for traffic to flow in and out of the community off of that bypass.
Just the south, the north was always there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one kind of center, but
Yeah.
there was some discussion about one on the north as well. Anyway, so he was asking if council would consider giving their endorsement of this plan and whether or not there'd be consideration at this time for that.
I think you all heard my response.
So I'd just be looking for, if you wanted us to carry that conversation further, we can just leave it for now the way it is. It's not permanently etched, it's just, this is just a vision of where that goes, right?
Right.
But
Yep,
like I
sure.
said, they don't anticipate it being, it's probably going to be 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
In 20
I
years,
don't-
we can tell them
And
where
he
to
was
go.
pretty clear with that when we met with him. You know, I didn't have any hopes that it was gonna change, cause he seemed very emphatic
Well-
about,
Well, he seems to think it was a temporary exit, like slip ramp we wanted at the south end, but it's not temporary. We want a permanent one. Because that would allow traffic to come into town, stop, you know, buy coffee, go for lunch, whatever,
yeah,
and then slip right out. So it would only affect the southbound traffic.
right,
There's no way to get the northbound involved, but I think at this time, it's 20 years off. We'll let future councils worry about
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If that's okay, we'll just
Yeah.
take it for information.
Sound good to you?
The longer it doesn't happen, the
Number 10, information brief, Emerson Park redesign. This is just information that Tara has pulled together a group. We are starting to meet with all the different service clubs in town and looking for input into how we're gonna redesign Emerson Park. As you're all aware, we do something every second year, so this will be coming up next year. So I think this is mainly just for information. You got anything?
No, it's just to update council on where things are at with that committee.
Thanks.
How did that meeting go on the ninth?
Everybody was a lot of interest.
Yeah?
A lot of good ideas thrown around. We made a list and Tara's gonna get something on paper. I mean, it's just conjecture right now, but get something on paper. And then the interested groups will meet again and we'll start working on
Cool.
who
Nice.
wants to do what and how much it'll cost and
Cool.
breaking it
Excellent.
down.
Right.
Right now, it's just, we're just looking
It's
for
just a meet
ideas.
and greet.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely needs an upgrade, but we don't know what and we don't know what we can afford yet, so.
Cool.
Number 11, strategic plan report. This is again information. Any questions on what you guys read?
I think everything read pretty good.
Just of note, you'll see we're into year 2 now, so we're working on those priorities for 2019 as well, so.
Year 2. I think we never
That's
thought we'd
wild,
get
right?
there, did we, for a while?
It seemed to have gone real fast. Kind of amazed.
So we'll take this for information at this time. 12.
Forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
It sounded important.
It did. It was important.
Make a recording next time. Information brief, council resolution status, again, is just information. Any questions arise out of there?
Nope.
Okay.
Just one spelling error there.
Uh-oh. Yes, Craig, where's that?
And on 14 there where it says Councilor Schultz referred to discussion on tax tokens instead of taxi tokens.
That's only from May last year.
Yeah, I just noticed. Just picking up where Craig left off. That's all.
Craig's supposed to pick that up.
Craig.
Nice baton tossing.
Can't do everything, guys. I need some help.
Craig. I'm on board, buddy.
Counselors ever. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, we'll take that for information.
Silly boys.
Information items, if we could get a motion to adopt them. Any questions arising out of those?
No.
Wow.
I'll make a motion to accept the information items as presented.
Nice.
I saw Brad's name was misspelled in there too, or they
Oh,
called him
geez, guys, quit picking on
Schlosser
poor Craig.
Schlosser?
twice.
Did you? Schlosser.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Where is it misspelled?
I saw that too.
Okay,
We'll
anything else in
We'll do
there?
a find and replace.
Did you vote to approve those minutes? Okay, we have a motion. Question, please.
So who's, oh, yeah, moved by Counselor Zimmer to accept the information items as presented.
All in favor? Okay, if we're going, holy crow.
We're done.
Okay,
Short show tonight, kids.
motion to go on camera.
I'll make the motion. We go on camera.
Okay, smoke them if you got them. We're in camera. Can you turn the, okay, a motion to come out of in camera. Oh, wait a minute.
No.
Okay, a motion to come out of the camera, please. Mic one. Counselor Cutler, all in favor? We're live. Okay, we have some, Mary, you want to say something? No, okay. We have some motions we need to make. The first one is the motion for the EDC to administer, to take on the, what's his name?
Alec Harris.
Alex Harris. He has put his name forward to sit in the business position in EDC, so if you guys are okay with that, I'll need a motion to put him in.
That motion.
Counselor Carlson, any discussion on that? All in favor? Carried. Next, we need a motion that we talked about to move the fire chief job into the full-time position. Ooh, he was first again. You've already got something wrote up there, I imagine. No? Okay, we'll give them. Not a small trick.
We're all out of them.
Wow.
Greg, where's your coffee?
I don't know.
I
Coffee
think-
chairs.
I
I
don't know
think
for a
Kareem
while.
let things slip there.
I only had one cup.
I know, right?
I only had one large cup.
That's all I had. Okay, seriously, Greg.
Yeah.
Where's the coffee?
Well, too late now. It's 8:45.
I'll bring a thermos from work next time.
You wouldn't mind. It adds.
Keep
You
it
don't
down.
have to if I'm sitting there.
I'll keep it right here.
If Sloshberger's sitting there, bring
Me and
it.
you, yeah.
Nice. Oh, Mike's still on. The mic is still on.
Mm-hmm.
Effective February 1st, okay?
Yep.
So I moved by Counselor Zimmer to create a full-time fire chief position. within-
Counselor Cutler.
Oh, I thought it was,
No, Mike actually beat Craig.
so moved by Counselor Cutler to create a full-time fire chief position within the town of Clarisholm effective February 1st, 2019.
Okay, everybody heard? Any comments or? Good? Okay,
Good.
all in favor? Carried.
You need to appoint Sean Kelly to.
Okay, I need a motion to appoint Sean Kelly as the new fire chief of Clarisholm.
I will make that motion to appoint
Sean
Deputy
Kelly.
Fire Chief Sean Kelly into a
Oh,
fire
he's-
chief
no,
role.
he's temporary fire chief right now, not deputy.
And that will be effective February 1st.
Good job, Councilor Fowler.
Thank you, Councilor Zimmer.
Awful formal, guys. Good? Question, please.
Moved by Counselor Zimmer to appoint Sean Kelly as fire chief of the town of Clarisholm Fire Department effective February 1st, 2019.
All in favor? Carried. And one final motion, we need, for FCSS to start administering, Granham's FCSS program through our office here in town, as per the contract laid out
I'll make
by
that motion.
administration. Counselor Schultz,
We're clarifying that's a 1-year contract.
it's laid out in, it's a one-year contract laid out in the draft that was given to us. Can we state a 1 year in that motion, or should we?
What's it say for the period,
That way there's no misunderstandings.
Do you
Period.
want to say interim agreement?
Question?
Moved by Councillor Schultz to enter into a 1 year agreement with the town of Grantham to administer their FECSS programming and funding as presented.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, motion to adjourn. Councillor Carlson. We are adjourned. Could you turn the camera off, please?